his tone was fairly strong, and I think he focused on where he needed to, on the need to reform the pension system. It is the issue of the day. We're gonna spend a quarter of our budget on pensions this year, almost $8.5 billion as we get into the 2014 budget. So I think he was right in making that the focus of his speech. I agree with him. I think we're just getting to that point, and I think one of the reasons you haven't seen a sense of urgency here is, unless you're an annuitant or you're going to be an annuitant, I don't think you focused on this issue. If you're a man or woman on the street, you know now. The good news is that we have a pension problem. I don't think you know the ramifications or implications of that pension problem. So I think in the speaker and perhaps the president's mind, you're not going to lose an election because you haven't passed a pension reform bill. I think now that we're starting to talk about this crowding out impact or effect that's very, very real, because we're going to spend $8.5 billion on pensions, that there's going to be less for other services, that people will start to realize the ramifications or impact of not doing pensions. I don't think that's been the case up to this point. So I think we're getting there. And again, if we don't do anything this year, next year we'll be at $9 billion or $9.5 billion. So I think we're just at that critical stage where people will start to realize, wow, you want to cut education, that means maybe they're going to be bigger class sizes, or going to be fewer programs, or my property taxes are going to make up the difference. And that's where you're going to start to see everybody engaged in it. And I think 2 points. One, you just don't throw something on the board and say, let's hope it all passes. This requires sitting down with the 4 leaders and the governor and say, let's do a roll call. Do you have 30 to 20 or whatever, depending on the breakdown of the caucuses, and how are we going to get this done like it used to happen around here, and do that. But I think, look, on this crowding out, you can talk education, you can talk roads, you can talk human services, you can talk substance abuse. It's all going to get crowded out if this doesn't get resolved. And even when we resolve it, even if just say that we resolve it today, for the sake of this discussion, we've still got a court challenge. We can't start realizing gain or savings until there's a court challenge there's some finality there. So this is still a ways off, even after we pass something. We all know, I think, that when he wants to get something done, it gets done. We could sit here on pensions and say, you're in the majority, you got 71, go put 60 on and do it. I'm not interested in doing that. I want to be part of this process of solving it. And we're in year 3. So, but the reality is, when he wants to get something done, we all know what happens.